presented by Dano's Seasoning. Yum yum, get you some.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Sunbeltsyndicate, a special episode tonight in store for you, as always presented to you by Dano's Seasoning and these guys right behind me, collegefootballdawgs.com. TJ, how are we doing tonight?
We're good, man. Good as usual. Happy to have Kaleb on board with us tonight, man. But other than that, man, it's sunshine and blue. Look, 48 days until football? 49. Listen, bro, we're almost there. We gotta hang. We gotta hang in there, bro. 47 days to kickoff. We're almost there. So every day is a good day. We get closer to football.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Kaleb knows that best. He just is on the screen here with us. He hails from Dallas, Texas. He started his playing career at Incarnate Word, grabbing 2 All-Southland Team awards. Jumps over to Texas State with head coach GJ Kinne, where he's already been named second team All-Texas and All-PFF, which he can probably tell us better what that stands for, Sunbelt in his very first season. Oh, and just so you know, the always admirable Phil Steele and his amazing magazine that he puts out that a lot of us college football fans refer to as the Bible. He has been named to Phil Steele's second team Sunbelt as a safety, and pretty cool feature, he is the photo when you turn to Texas State's spot in the magazine. So that may be one of the coolest things of all time, honestly. You know, like just you of all people get your picture on the front page of your team's spot in the magazine. Kaleb, how does it start off the interview, man? How does that part make you feel?
It makes me feel good. I mean, honestly, I honestly didn't know that for real.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's news to me, right?
Hey, so that's cool. Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to go check that out after this. Okay.
Right there.
Yeah. Okay, that looked good.
Right there, Texas State Bobcats. That is you right there, front and center on that first page, man. So, pretty cool. And then, as TJ knows, we saw Nash Jones's touchdown in the bowl game last year, which was awesome. We had Ishmati on for that episode where we kind of talked about breaking that down. So he's the offensive guy on the other side of the magazine, but you were the defensive player chosen. So I'm glad that we could break that news to you. I didn't know you didn't know that.
Yeah, no, appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And our very first comment of the night, of course, comes from Mr. Artie Cat himself, who is our resident Texas State fan, our big-time resident Texas State fan. Because
the biggest Texas State fan.
Yeah. We had him on the baseball podcast. He's got all his Texas State stuff in his background behind him. He'd set up all his jerseys and stuff like that. So a man of the people for Texas State. So he was very happy to see you guys do so well last year, go to the bowl game, experience that atmosphere, which you got to tell us how that was. I mean, you guys sold more tickets than the other side for that one. They ran out of beer. They ran out of food. I mean, Texas State fans seem to know how to do it right.
Oh yes, Texas State. We know how to get down out here. I think that played a part in why I came out here, because we know how to have fun, but we also know how to work hard. So I think that's definitely that bowl game was definitely a statement. Like that's how we do it everywhere we go. We do it big.
Nice,
very nice. Yeah, I think we can all agree with that, especially after hearing that and already being a part of that crowd there. So it looked like you came from a athletic background with both of your parents, right? Tell us a little bit more about the two of them?
So my mom, I'll give you a little more information, just because that's my mom, So that's the Rock. That's the Rock. She always said she did a little 60-yard dash back in her day. Said she did a little track. So she's pretty athletic. I'm not gonna lie. So I used to work out with her when I was younger. So that definitely comes from her. And then my pops, he did his his basketball thing. And according to him, parents always like to hype things up. And I am a parent now, so I would know. But he used to say he used to almost jump from the free throw line. So I get it from both of them.
Okay, Dad.
Right. You know what I'm saying? No, hey, gotta see some film, but
right.
So hey, he says that's why I got my bunnies, but we'll see.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So you said you're a father yourself already?
Yes, sir.
Nice. You got a little boy, girl?
It's a little girl. She's actually she just came out. She's almost 3 months. So.
Oh
nice,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. Absolutely.
Thank you.
TJ and I are both fathers as well. Both of us have one each.
Okay.
So hopefully you can go on to have many more. I might be done, you know.
Yeah, I know I'm done.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, I got a 7-year-old. I coach his football team, and he'll eat you out of house and home. This kid eats like a teenager, bro. Like he'll put down 3 or 4 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with no problem, and just run back outside and start playing. So
I believe it.
He's 7 years old and he's already 63 pounds.
Sheesh.
Yeah, he's a monster,
Okay.
and you can't tell by looking at him. He's a monster.
And he's got the cutback already down from his dad.
I got some game film I can show you. He looks I don't know if he's probably a little bit better than I was at his age. That's for sure. But he's got it, man. It's what's crazy about it is, and I go through this thing where I brag on my kid a lot, but it's so much easier for me to say it than it is for you to actually see it, because I can say it all day, right? Every father is going to hype their kid up. But then I bring like family members and friends out to watch him play, and they're like, oh, like this is crazy. Yeah, like he likes that for real.
Yeah.
That for real. So
okay.
If we get some time, I think maybe I can pull up some film. But we'll see. We'll get to that later.
Okay. All right.
So man, so we got Chris Joseph jumping on. He's been a resident player of the EA Sports brand new game they just launched. So we'll get into that topic right away next. We also got a Coastal fan jumping on saying, "Go Coastal Carolina." You guys don't actually play them this year, but you did play them last year. And since they made the comment, got to bring it up. That was the game that I just commented on, I think, on X. You got thrown from that game for what is unmistakably one of the worst calls I've ever seen for targeting. That
was nuts. That was nuts. Let the boys play.
Yeah, that one hurt me. Yeah. And that was in the month of November, I believe. And I needed that one. You know, everybody remembers your November work. So that one hurt me a little bit, but we're going to get it back.
Yeah. What time frame of the game did that happen? That's the one thing from the clip.
Yeah. That was it was third quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say it was around crunch time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was out that half and then the first half of the next.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Dang.
You know.
So what's I don't have it in front of me. Which game was after that? Do you remember which game you had to sit for?
Arkansas State. Yes, sir.
The one where they hung 70, right? Is that game, right?
Yes, sir. First time being hung 70 on my head, personally.
They wouldn't have hung 70 if you was out there. That's for damn.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how we like to feel, but we'll take that all on the chin. So
right. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So Jared's asking us about App State. Yes. As you can see from behind both of us. Oh, I'm pointing the wrong way. There's a framed jersey. It's not one TJ actually wore, but you know it is a framed long time ago App State jersey. They don't typically wear the gray or silver, whatever you want to call that. And as you can see behind TJ there, he's got his accolades from when he won 3 straight national championships at the FCS level. So
it was crazy, bro. I try not to talk about it that much now because I'm 37 years old, going on 38, but it was a hell of a time. It was.
What school?
App State.
You won 3 straight?
Yeah, bro. It was
sheesh.
What a time to be alive.
as an FCS player too, like, and going through playoffs and that long season, that's tough.
Bro, that's the thing. That's the part that people don't get.
Yeah.
We're playing the season, and there's 16 games, right?
Yeah.
Then you got another 4 playoff games that you gotta win. 3 playoff games and then championship. That's an NFL season 3 times in a row.
That's serious. Like that's that's tough, man. It
was all you see, like this whole background and everything that's building this stadium. Mm-hmm. Guys before me, Richie Williams, those guys, they did this. You know what I mean? Like they were the reasons for this happening. I always joke about people. When I first got there, we had sweatpants with no pockets, and then after we started winning, we got sweatpants with pockets in
them. Hey, look, I know how that is. Look, hey, we had to get it out the mud at UIW, so I know we had to put some respect on our name. So absolutely. I know that's right.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We got some trash talking going on in the comments, so I'll let that stuff ride as we continue on. But Artie does have a Kaleb specific question here, so let's get to this one. Kaleb, have you gotten to go to Schlitterbahn or do any river tubing before the season starts?
Oh, this year I floated the river one time this summer. Last year as a team we went to Schlitterbahn actually, so that was cool. That was fun for sure. But I haven't been to Schlitterbahn this off season, but I have been tubing. I plan to go a couple more times.
Nice. So and explain to us guys who don't know what or where Schlitterbahn is.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I can't even say that word.
so it's hey, I can't spell it. I shouldn't be saying it.
No, I can't spell it either.
But it's in San Antonio area. I could not tell you the exact city, but it is in the San Antonio area.
Nice. Nice. Okay. And so for the other people that may be watching or listening, you guys down at Texas State in San Marcos have a quite literal river flowing through your campus.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And it is. Yeah, go ahead.
After class or after a hard workout, you go up there, kick it in the that's a natural river too. So it's never really cold. It's always pretty nice temperature, and you just kick it in there, kick it on the grass or whatever, and yeah, you'll chill for the rest of the day.
And the tradition, I guess, is to jump in after graduation. Is that correct as well?
Oh yeah. I graduate in December, so we look forward to it.
Yeah, that rite of passage.
Yeah, right. So
yeah. Well, you're gonna jump in and then go right to training for the next step in your career, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably your next step. So with all the accolades that we've seen you have and the expectations coming into this season for you guys, it's in New Braunfels. Is that how you pronounce that? Is that
okay?
Water park.
Yeah, New Braunfels.
It means slippery road. Okay,
Schlitterbahn?
So there you go. Schlitterbahn means slippery road. It's one of those words that looks fancy to us Americans, but in Germany, it's just regular.
Yeah, they just say it all. They say it at breakfast. It's just
right.
It's just mid-sentence. They just spit it out, and we're like, oh, cool. Sounds like a nice word. I'll incorporate that into some regular vocabulary.
Yeah, you want some butter on your Schlitterbahn? Like, I feel like it's just like something that they could roll with. That's not fitting, but that's the kind of thing that we're hearing here. So, all right, so let's get back into the video game thing, okay? We talked a little bit about it before we went live. Do you own it? If you do, what system are you playing on? Are you specifically in the game? And if you are, did you actually get your EA check yet?
Okay. Trying to remember all that.
So, yeah. Just go with however you want.
All right. So I do have it. Got it as soon as it came out, 3 p.m. Man, it's good. It's good. First, I'll start by saying that. It's good. I'm enjoying it with all my teammates. And did I get my EA check? I haven't actually. Now I did sign up kind of late. Okay. I probably signed up like a week and a half ago. Okay. Because I had some technical difficulties. But yeah, so I'm wondering if that's why, but I have not got my EA check.
So
gotcha.
So I know this. I know EA is going to pay you. And the reason I know that is because they discontinued the game in 2014. And so all of us that was on those 05, 06, 07, and 08 teams, we all got a check. We all got a check. And we got our check in like 2017, 2018 when they cut it. So it was late. You're going to get it. I don't know when you're going to get it. It'll probably be a lot sooner now. But and back then, respectfully, my check wasn't very big. It was, I had 1 comma. That was it.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because App State wasn't what they are now. So the checks might be a little different for Texas State and App State now.
Okay. Yeah. No, I haven't got it, but I do plan on seeing it.
Very nice. So, and I'm guessing you've seen yourself in the game. I guess you can tell us probably better with you and your teammates. Not everybody is facially scanned. So even though it may be you, it doesn't necessarily look like you. Or have you guys kind of looked into that? Or does it actually look like you are?
Oh yeah, trust me. I look deep into my player, as I'm sure everybody did.
I would be too.
So, but yeah, no, they didn't face scan, but they do look pretty realistic. Pretty elite. As far as our build, it's pretty real, pretty close.
Nice. I've seen some glitches. Obviously, we got to talk
Yeah.
the good with the bad. You seen anything crazy like earlier today? I think I saw someone say, what kind of voodoo is Dion pulling in Colorado because somebody was playing with or against Colorado and there's this tackle made and the guy jumps like 10 feet in the air, lays down. Somehow the play continues like below him. He gets like pushed into the end zone, whatever. But I've seen some weird stuff. So have you guys witnessed any crazy things happening in the game yet?
Crazy. I mean, I've seen some. Okay. So as far as the glitch, I mean, the most I've seen so far is like I scored a touchdown and my guy he just disappears and the ball is just sitting there like this. He's doing a celebration and I just see the ball. And then I've seen one little glitch where somebody threw a pick to me and we're playing tip drill. It's like 3 tips. It's like goes through the defender's hand, goes through the wide receiver's hand, another and then he finally intercepts the ball. I seen that one. I don't know if that's a glitch, but I haven't seen that on Madden. So
yeah,
okay.
The way I look at it is this: like, this is gonna be glitches.
Mm-hmm.
It's a video game. Like, how realistic do you want them to be? You want to go get the people and have them play in real life? Because they do that regularly. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. I mean, you take the good with the bad. There's way more good than there is bad.
Oh yeah. They did their thing on NCAA, and I'm actually starting my career. And they made that real. They made it real.
Yeah.
Underdog. I think it's 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, and a 2-star.
Right.
But they made it. They made it.
You bringing your my career all the way up through high school, right?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Actually, no. No, actually.
They don't start in high school this year, is what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought they started off. I hadn't clearly hadn't played it yet, but I thought they started off in senior year.
Not this year. Actually, you just choose your school. Yeah.
Okay.
That was TJ. The last time you and I played the older version. Yes, that's what they had.
That lets you know how old we are.
No. Hey, that version is the best version. Like seriously, no cap.
Yeah. Well, because you even got some time to play with your guy at the high school level to kind of up your stats to get better recruits.
Right. That's why I thought.
So in the old game in 2014, they let you play the last like 3 games of the high school season.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can get your rankings up, and then you can decide what schools and offers and all that stuff that you get, and then it plays out like a real, you know what I mean, like college. A real one.
Yeah, and even they used to let you play both sides in the other one too. They don't even. I can't even make a safety in this one. You can only make QB, running back, wide receiver, corner, or like a DN or something.
That's
a linebacker. Yeah, I can't even make a safety, but that's all right though. Love y'all, EA.
Hopefully they fix that.
Right, they need to fix that, but hey, it's all right.
Yeah, and Artie's comment down below, your upper deck at your home football stadium is actually missing in the game. I have been told that not only that mistake has been made, but like I guess the one that they put in there for Hawaii is like not even the right stadium at all.
Oh gosh,
I don't know enough about Hawaii's stadium, but apparently. They started playing in a smaller one because they were in that massive, like 50,000 person stadium, where they played they played the Pro Bowl there every year before they started moving the Pro Bowl around and doing all the wacky stuff for the NFL. But that was the stadium that Hawaii used to play in, and I think are renovating to go back to. So I think they might have put in the small stadium that they were placeholding, but I think maybe as soon as this year they're back in the big one. So I think there's some discrepancies there. But anyway, those are like the small minor things that we're seeing from the game. Okay, he said the Pro Bowl was deemed unsafe. That's right. I do remember hearing about that. Yeah, it was literally deteriorating, and they had concerns that I guess it could collapse or something with them people.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So, anyways, that is that. So you grew up in Dallas, Texas. You've stayed in Texas for both schools you've played for. Where exactly? Oh, there you go. Dallas Cowboys fan.
I didn't even have to ask, bro. You grew up in Dallas, Texas. I didn't even have to ask.
No. Oh yeah. No. It was fed to me.
Yeah.
Since a youngin, bleed blue, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That definitely makes sense. So we do know the answer to that question, and like TJ said, probably didn't even have to really ask.
Right.
That
exactly.
Was there any school out there at all? You don't have to give down dirty details, but was there any school you thought about going to outside of Texas before you got to Incarnate Word?
Before I got to Incarnate Word?
Yeah.
Any school that I was thinking about going to in Texas, you said?
Yeah, anybody. Well, not anybody who offered you who was outside the state, maybe like a team in Louisiana or elsewhere that you're like kind of close to for any reason, just to see if there was anything that happened like that.
Well, before UIW, obviously coming in and getting recruited, I was thinking either two schools. Well, not two. I mean, my top three was Liberty, Air Force, and it was UIW. Okay. You know, at the time, I was, you know, I was just really honestly, my whole thought process was, you know, if you could play, they'll find you anywhere. You know, and I didn't want to go all the way out there to Virginia, and I didn't really. I really took on the, you know, the possibility of going into the Air Force. My pops was in the Air Force. My brother's in the Air Force. My papa was in the Air Force. Like, you know, so we have a.
We got you. You're good. Okay. We're just giving you the screen.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a whole family lineage, but I couldn't do it. I mean, and with the like a little help decision making with my dad, I was just like, you know what, like I just want to stay close to home. So yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I do have to ask, the guy we had on 2 weeks ago now did spend time at Liberty. Mm-hmm. Is there something that makes that school like a draw? Obviously, there's a lot of faith aspects to that, and I believe Incarnate Word is kind of similar in that regard, right? Is kind of a faith-based school there, or not? So maybe you could tell us more about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, not really. I mean, as far as it probably is considered that it's Incarnate Word, but I mean, yeah, you have to take your religious classes and things of that nature. But I mean, it wasn't too. I assume it was not as serious as Liberty. Is what I've heard at least.
Gotcha. Do you know anybody who went on and spent any time at Liberty for any reason?
Yes, actually, we had a guy at UIW who transferred to Liberty the year that I got there, actually, and he's actually at Sam Houston State now. So we'll see him this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Is he on the offensive side of the ball? You're gonna like literally go up against him, or
he's defense.
Okay.
Defense side of the ball. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was he like a high school teammate or just somebody you?
No, just he was just a college teammate actually. When I first got to UIW, and then he ended up transferring.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So he left the year you got there.
Yeah, basically when that spring season happened.
Okay.
Was he on the team last year that went to the Fiesta Bowl, or had he transferred out by then?
Oh, yes, he was actually.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Was he a guy who was playing a lot?
He got some time. Not too much, but he got some time for sure.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, very cool. It's got to be cool to be on the field and be around a team that is that successful on the field. I'm a Liberty hater as far as the football aspect is concerned.
Yes, he is, bro.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
But hey, you know, I do find it really interesting and cool that you thought about going to Air Force as well. Did you take a visit up there to Colorado Springs at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful for sure. I just, you know, it's funny because all three of those places that Liberty, Air Force, and UIW offered me just for totally different positions.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, Liberty was straight athlete.
Okay.
Air Force was running back. And that's also why I was thinking about going, because I'm like, man, I can get 30, 40 carries a game. Like,
brother, I went through the same thing coming out of high school. I went through the same thing.
Like, shoot. But I you know, me personally, I had to make that decision, like, where I feel like, you know, where I can go furthest, what position and what I'm willing to, you know, go through and, you know, focus on. And I chose safety. So
nice.
Very nice. Mm-hmm. Well, since we've seen some similarities between you and TJ, why don't you go ahead and ask the question about the differences that we kind of spoke about earlier. I think that's going to be very interesting for some of us to hear.
Yeah. So, and we talked about it before we went live. Obviously, there's you know, subtle differences, and there's huge differences as it relates to level of competition, those kinds of things that you go up against. I've experienced it. I know you have at this level. Texas State is a different beast, right? Sunbelt is a different animal than where you came from. Talk to me about the differences between playing at the FCS level and then transitioning into, you know, I guess Group of Five, Power Five, whatever you want to list it now. It's all over the place. But D1, you know, now what's the biggest differences for you?
Oh, you know, I feel like everybody kind of says it. Your first thing you say is the trenches.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, you know, at UIW, I'm a strong dude, and I probably really was I'm not gonna say as strong as the O linemen, but there wasn't such a mass majority of O linemen that I was like, them boys are strong. You know what I'm saying?
The gap wasn't what it, it was more like a high school gap than it was
like
college gap is supposed to be. I got you.
Here, and my second year out here. So now we got some hogs down there. We got on both sides of the ball. That's like throwing weight every day. I'm like, all right, that's how it's supposed to look. I'm supposed to feel like, hey, that's my D line. Right. they got my back, So I say the trenches first, and then you would have to go with just the depth chart in general. As far as FCS, you'll find your ones. Especially when you get to the playoffs. I mean, every team is good. And any playoff team in the FCS, in my opinion, can compete with G5 schools, depending on what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? FCS playoffs. Because it gets serious in the playoffs. You find some really good teams. That's another story, of course. But I would say just the depth chart in general, you'll find a lot more depth when you go, FBS. It's the ones, twos, both of them boys, they'll get out on you. Or they both can do their job at this level. Ones, twos, and sometimes threes. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're building right now is threes and fours. We all keeping the standard right here.
Yeah. You saw that smiley face, Nick, or just a bit ago. That's my high school coach. He was our offensive line coach. So anytime we start talking about trenches, Coach John Gaylord, you can look at him and tell he looks like an offensive line coach.
Yeah.
So when we start talking about trenches, he is a trained veteran. He actually coached me, Pop Warner, all the way through high school. High school, he was my offensive line coach. I played quarterback in high school, so he was responsible for them protecting me. So he had been my coach since I was probably 8 or 9 years old, all the way up to high school.
Jeez. Okay.
Dang.
Yeah. So
Artie does want to chime in and say a year as an academy newbie would suck, which probably is true. It might be a little tough there. One aspect that I think TJ is very aware of, having played quarterback and running back and wide receiver, quite literally being recruited as an athlete as well across multiple positions there. Do you notice a big difference in the speed? Is that another big adjustment, or do you feel like there's plenty of really fast guys at the FCS level as well? I guess, you're chasing these guys down. You got to know whether you feel a major difference or if it's maybe a lot more minor than people might think.
Speed. Are you saying speed of the game or speed of individuals? Because it's kind of like
those are two separate questions, and I get that.
Yeah.
I like that. Two separate questions. I want to know the answer to both if you can, because I'd like to hear that.
I mean, again, it's just not a big majority of fast people when you go FCS. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You got more sliders, FBS. So if as far as individuals, you got more of them. Like, and you'll probably, like last year, I probably faced like two guys where I was like, oh, okay, they're pretty fast. And I'll be honest, like I take pride in my angles. I take some solid angles, and them was some. Oh, I gotta get on my horse. You know what I'm saying? So I've came across a handful of guys that since I've been FBS, where I'm like, okay, yeah, some speed out here. But the speed of the game, the speed of the game for sure. For sure. I mean, speed of the game alone, I mean, it's just like everybody's so confident in what they're doing that it's like they're moving so efficiently, and just I mean, the speed of the game is definitely you got to know what's going to happen before it happens, for sure.
Yeah, and the biggest difference between what you're talking about at the one level versus the other is when you talk about individual speed versus team speed, is like you said, you're going to find at the FCS level, it's going to be one or two people that's going to be, like you said, sliders. They're going to get out on you. The difference with us when we were in FCS at App State was that across the board, all four of our wide receivers plus our running back plus our quarterback was 4.4 or better. And that was what kept us competitive in games like Michigan and games like, LSU. Even though LSU blew us out, they didn't blow us out until like the second half. Like it didn't get ugly until the second half. Because like when you get people with speed like that, so I get what you're saying. The difference is just drastic because it's like you said, it's one or two people at one level. And then when you go to the next level, it's like They probably got a stable of dudes. Their backup that don't even see the field is probably a 4-3. He just can't catch.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like it's like they got him specifically to run past you. Like he don't do nothing else but just run past you. Like, all right, bet, coach. You know what I'm saying?
So I get it.
All right, so let's stay on the speed aspect because I'm always really intrigued by this. I don't know how many of you guys or people listening or watching right now have checked this out, but there is a new feature. There's no free ads on this program, but there is a nice documentary on Netflix right now called Sprint or Speed. I think it's called Sprint.
Okay.
But it's talking about all the Olympic track stars as they go and try and qualify for Paris, their stories to get there. Noah Lyles, who's the American who's out to beat Usain Bolt's obviously like world record that no one thinks will ever be broken. That's his goal. So if you haven't watched that, I do recommend that. Again, no free ads, but check that out because it's very cool. I want to know, you're obviously insanely fast and you have to be to play your position. Where do you kind of rank yourself or think you place on your own team? Because we've seen guys like Ishmael Mahdi light up the field when he's returning kicks and he's not being caught. Are you thinking that you guys on the defensive side are just as fast as the offensive players? Do you guys have like an actual ranking right now from ours? Anything like that? I mean, I know like for App State, they just released their top guys, top speed guys that were hitting like 22 miles an hour. So I'm just interested to see kind of what you guys know about yourselves as far as the speed's concerned.
If you want to go based off miles per hour, I know we've got a handful of guys that go 22, but we've got a bunch of guys that are high 21s. I mean, we've got some fast guys, like genuinely, and I think every team I've kind of been on, probably it's probably on purpose with these coaches because they make a fast team. They always get guys that can move, and are versatile and just fast as all get out, honestly. So I would honestly put us up there with the best of them as far as speed. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And I'm also, me personally, I am fast. I'm not gonna lie, I am. It's just more so football speed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the football speed is different, especially because I mean my angles it kind of makes your speed just kind of here. Like we're the same speed because my angles are just that tight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yeah.
And also angles make your speed obsolete.
You know, exactly.
Right.
So
if you take good angles, you don't really have to be fast.
No, like you really don't.
So it doesn't display, from a defensive perspective. I played safety in high school. I didn't obviously play defense in college, but I know that you don't have to be a 4-4 guy to play safety if you have good angles.
Yes, sir.
Well, TJ, the famous block kick at Michigan was done by a man named Corey Lynch. And let's be honest, Corey Lynch probably isn't anywhere near the top 10, 15, maybe even the top 20 guys fast on the field, but he always seemed to take the right angle. Yes, like you said, it's more important about thinking ahead and seeing the game develop and being ready to make that play. Speed helps, and speed really helps. When you aren't as good as that, you can help make up in that regard. But playing smart, like you guys are saying, sometimes helps the speed aspect become a little bit less.
Every time.
Well, speaking of Corey Lynch, he ran a 4.68 or 4.6. It was a slow 4.6, right?
Sheesh.
He ended up playing for the Cincinnati Bengals and blocked the kick with the Bengals, and was backup safety in the NFL. So that just goes to show you, like, speed ain't everything, especially at the safety position. If you know angles, right? If you know how to get to the ball, see ball, get ball. That's it. That's all it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Definitely becoming a ball hawk back there, as we've seen after last season, which is pretty cool, right? I mean, I thought that was really cool to see you making essentially what are all-star lists, after the season for the FCS level. You jump up. I don't know how many people expect someone to just make those same type of list at the next level, but you've done it within 1 year's time. That's very, very impressive. I know Texas State has a lot of expectations because of players like you and Ishmael Mahdi and other guys that have now joined the team. So are you guys thriving on that that outlook, that expectation as it may be to win the West this year?
Yeah, I mean, we are definitely, that's the expectation. We've put that on ourselves to say the standard is here. Like it's
Right.
no longer, down here where it was, let's go to a bowl game. Like it's right here. We know our goal. We know what we're trying to do. We know what we're going to do. I don't feel like, it's like we've done something already. Like we're not smelling ourselves, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Yeah.
we know we have not done anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? We went 8-5. Like, okay, we went to a bowl game. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool for the school history. We do that. We put that on for the fans and the alumni, but like we haven't done anything. You know what I'm saying? Like we have not done anything. And I think that's for sure. Like, I think that's why we still have that chip on our shoulder, because it's like we're getting some more recognition, but we're all just so hungry. Like we need some more. You know what I'm saying? Like we all want that recognition. We all want that spotlight. Because when we know, like, if we walk, everybody, obviously, we're FBS. Everybody's goal is to go to the league. But like at G5, we know, like, if you want to go to the league and if everybody wants a shot at the league, we have to win.
That's
gotta
exactly
win.
Right. That's exactly right.
We have to. Like, and it can be no debate, like, whether or not, we've got to blow teams out. Like we can't go play Troy and, or Coastal or ODU and be like, we can't make that a close game. Like we want to beat guys. Like we want to handle guys. You know what I'm saying?
And especially the non-conference games, they can't be close.
Yeah, no,
The non-conference games, you got to, essentially at a G5, as a G5, you got to damn near go undefeated.
Yes, sir.
Like,
yes, sir.
You got to do that, and then you got to win your bowl game.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that's when the odds start to come, and you got to do it consistently,
right.
For those next level chances to start happening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And
Artie's saying,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
He's already saying yes, loving the attitude, brilliance in the basics, which, yeah, absolutely. And I do have to share this too, because I just saw this, I think yesterday. Are you excited for the new turf being installed there at your guys? And you'll have to remind me, you guys just got a massive sponsorship for your stadium, which I believe is the biggest sponsorship in all of the Sunbelt. And so obviously the biggest sponsorship in Texas State history. Is all that kind of stuff it seems to be very noticeable. You got a lot of construction going on around the stadium right now, right?
Yes, sir. It is loud during every meeting I've been in. You hear some clacking and all of the above in the background, but it's definitely going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. UFCU, of course, is the new name of stadium. And yes, new turf. I actually, I played here when I was at UIW, so I played Texas State, obviously, and that turf it wasn't that good when I played them, and it never changed. Hey, look, I committed here, so obviously that
no shade, shade.
It wasn't a factor, but I am so happy to get some new turf. I think it'll just honestly give us new energy. The whole new stadium will give us new energy and more energy, and I think all around, like, it's gonna bring good vibes, and you feel good, you play good.
That's a fact. That
Absolutely.
Is a fact.
Speaking of turf, I have a question that, since we're talking about it, TJ, there was no AstroTurf still around when you started playing at App, was there?
No, they had gotten rid of that a couple years prior to, probably like 8 or 10 years prior to my.
Oh, okay.
No, maybe not 8 or 10. I would say 4 or 5 years. I'm old. I just remember that. 4 or 5 years. I know I'm old because I go to the rec center and play basketball, and everybody's talking about I'm picking up Unk. I'm like, bro, chill. Chill out.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't have.
You got a knee brace on both knees there, TJ?
Look, I wear sweatpants when I'm hooping because I don't want people to see my knee brace. Because look, I'm not trying to look. It's young boys out there, man. They 18, 19, 22, 25 years old. You're not gonna see me in these knee braces. So I specifically went out and bought the Nike mesh sweatpants to make it, first of all, look like I can hoop. Second of all, I hoop in all long sleeves because I'm a Melo fan.
Okay.
So you can't see anything. You can't see this. Can't see the knee wraps, the ankle wraps. You can't see nothing. I'm just here for a workout. That's all.
The ankle wraps.
Right.
It's crazy.
Bro, everything is wrapped up. I got 10. Look, bro. Listen, when you get 37, you'll see all these years of football. They start to pile up.
Oof, I know it.
Right.
That's why it's important for these kids to make their NIL money and maybe hopefully make it to the league.
Okay.
Obviously, that's a small percentage of them. But we got one on screen right now who's trending in the right direction. All right. So We'll say that for sure. Interesting thing. I'm looking at the schedule as you guys were talking there for a minute too. You don't leave the state of Texas until your first road game is at Troy October 3rd. That's got to be nice, right?
I'll tell you what. This schedule this year is setting us up. It's setting us up right. It can either set us up right or we can get too comfortable. I'll say that. I like the schedule. That's all I got to say. I don't have too many words because I don't want to. I just don't want to.
Because you don't want to jinx it. You don't want to open.
I don't. Because it's. I mean, this is real. Like this is. For some reason, I feel like it always just kind of comes. It kind of always ends up like this. Wherever I've been, like it's kind of just set up where, hey, we can do this. Like The odds are in our favor, but we'll see.
Yeah, the thing that I think a lot of people are focusing on with Texas State is the expectation, as we talked about, to take the West. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's a lot of work that goes involved with that, and obviously, there's always sometimes some luck that's involved with that. But you guys get to host UTSA, which is a huge in-state matchup. I guess is that kind of looked at as a big rivalry, or is it maybe becoming one? I mean, how do you guys look at that?
Battle of I-35, baby. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's what it is. So.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we lost to them last year at their place. So I mean, and we already had a vendetta against them last year. So this is gonna be, and actually my boy from UIW, who actually my fellow safety I played across from when we were both at UIW, both went in our freshman year, both transferred out same year. That's my boy, and I need some bragging rights. So that's
right. So I was going to get into that because I saw the UT score. Obviously, I saw the score, right? Saw you guys, unfortunately didn't get that win. What's the revenge looking like? Has there been any talk in terms of? I know you're talking about the I-35 rivalry. Has there been any conversation about what that game means to you guys and what it's going to look like when you guys play them again? Did you take any nuggets away from them offensively that will help you slow up, what they were able to do?
UTSA we're talking about.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, we're already looking at UTSA. Obviously, we've been looking at Lamar, but they kind of just run the 12P, 11P, big tight end team.
Sure.
Like to run the ball. So, I mean, knowing all of these things, obviously, as we keep going on, we'll pick up more tendencies, of course. I mean, but after playing them last year, I'm pretty sure I know what to expect. You know what I'm saying?
How athletic was their quarterback? It's one thing to see it on TV, right? But it's another thing to play against them.
You know what? It's so funny you say that because, that's how I felt. I was like, I'm just seeing this dude play for I don't know how long. He's been in the game for 7-8 years. And
right.
I'm like, this dude is still trucking along. But to get to your question, he's a slippery dude, I'll say.
Yeah.
He was probably, but he's tough though. He's tough. We heard him 2 times. I promise you, we heard him 2 times where he was down on the ground. And he looked like he was not getting up. A straight boxing match out there, and he got up and came back in. That right there, that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, this is a fight right here. This is no regular game. Because if that was a regular game, he would have sat out. And after that game, I'm pretty sure he was out 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 6.
He was hurt. No, he was definitely hurt. You can see it, I didn't watch the game fully, but obviously we do our podcast every week during football season, so we were able to talk about it and catch up on it. He was out a couple games after that, and the reason I brought that up is because you guys were able to do some things to him that a lot of teams weren't able to do. Because of how you got to hit him, right?
Yeah.
When you play against guys like that. And I know because I was one of those guys that I just want to make you miss it all the time. The way to shut us up, you got to hit them. Boom. You got to put that load on them.
And we were hitting UTSA all night. And that's why, we lost by a touchdown. We don't blame anybody on this game, but we'll just say we were hitting them all night and it did not go our way that night. It did not go our way that night.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah, that'll happen. But you learn from those kinds of things and you take nuggets from them. And like you said, you guys are going to play them again this year. And a lot of the things that you guys took away from what you were able to do last year will roll into this kind of now knowing scheme, knowing what you're up against, the kind of athletes that they have on that side of the field. And then now what this game means to the state of Texas, right?
Yeah.
Now it's a bigger vibe. Now,
Oh,
now we're looking at this thing, and then you guys being the favorite out in the West. I know you don't want to talk about them being the favorite, but that is the case, right? You got to look at reality for what it is. Being the favorite out in the West, now this is a pride game. Now it's bigger. It's bigger than just UTSA and you guys.
Yeah,
that was a pride thing, right? So all of that now goes into how I prepare, how I get ready for this game, and what my mental state is going into it, right?
Right. Yes, sir. No, I mean, for sure. I mean, you just broke it down perfectly, honestly. Like, I mean, that's exactly how it is. I mean, shoot, I can't say too much more. I mean, yeah, it's just at that point, it's that mental state. And I think, I think a lot of people do forget that, this game is 90%, 80% mental, you know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, that'll be a fun game. It'll be a fun game. Definitely anticipating it and looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm getting myself hype over here.
No, seriously, that's all I gotta let me calm down a little bit because I'm looking. Yeah.
Well, here's the interesting part. So you're gonna come off the big build up, and what will be a big game, no matter how it ends, is going to be a big game while you're in it, right? Then you have a Thursday night matchup against a Power 4 opponent in Arizona State, and I think that's why people are excited again about your expectations for this season. Arizona State obviously is going to have plenty of talent on the team, but I don't know if across the board, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I think as typical fans of college football, Arizona State isn't going and putting a bunch of fear in people across the board as far as like a national prominent school that we expect a lot out of this year. And I think that goes along with why the expectation is so good throughout the entirety of the season and not just early part. Although, like you said, and like we've seen, you guys are home for that whole first half of the season. But I will interesting maybe if you guys have talked about it or looked at it more specifically about how quickly you're going to have to rebound again, no matter win or lose, to a game on a Thursday night at home with another huge atmosphere and an expectation to take down a Power 4 or a Core 4 opponent, as some people are referring to them now. Is there already kind of a little bit of a sense of taking down the Sun Devils?
Oh, I mean, shoot. I'm
gonna be tuned in, by the way.
Oh yeah, I hope all of America is tuned in on that game because we're gonna make some noise for sure. We just go into each game though with a sense of it's another game. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we're playing, anybody. As long as you go out there and do your job, or you beat the guy across from you, as many times as possible, or do the best that you can do. Like that's all we can ask. We don't go into a game like, oh, this is Arizona State. Like we beat Baylor last year. We know it's possible for sure. It's possible. We didn't even have the team that we got this year, and we beat Baylor. Like that's what I say. Like we have a squad. We've got a squad that's better than last year, and I think we go into every game confident that hey, we're gonna go out here and do our job. So it doesn't matter what the name on the front or the back is.
That's fair.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. Again, 5-day turnaround. That just seems.
Now, that's going to be tough.
That's the hard part. Yeah.
It
takes 3 days just to calm your body down.
Right, and that's the mental aspect of it, where our leaders, as far as the guys. This is our last year. We're gonna step up and be like, hey, like this is first of all, get your rest. After the game on Saturday, I know you want to go out and do this and that, but try and recover. You know what I'm saying? Try and do this. Like this is where our leaders got to step up, and and we kind of have to guide the team and be like, hey, we got a big game coming up. And it's only big because it's the next game. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be mentally sharp for sure.
Nice. Yeah. Speaking of this year's roster, like you just did, you go from TJ Finley, who was. I don't exactly remember how tall he is. 6'5" or 6'6" or something. He's a monster as far as height. Yeah. So you go from TJ Finley to a guy who's already experienced a lot of Sunbelt play in Jordan McLeod. Obviously, I don't want you to get into too much of like, who does this better or worse kind of thing. But what different aspect does McLeod kind of bring in the quarterback position than what you had previously? Maybe just talk about that, maybe what it does to you specifically when you're looking to match up against him in practice.
I like him and TJ very much. He has a confidence about him that he definitely brings that I can see kind of just uplifts. I mean, it just goes with our offense. You know what I'm saying? He's got a finesse kind of about him, but he's also tough up here. You know what I'm saying? So he's not soft in any way, but he's got that finesse type of vibe. He's confident. It really kind of goes with our offense. Like I kind of said, you know, so I like that about him. Looking forward to seeing what he does this year. Obviously, he's coming off of Sunbelt Player of the Year, some offensive Sunbelt Player of the Year. But just playing against him, I like him. He's a smart QB, can read defenses. That's what I like. I like seeing my QB, you know, out here reading the defense and knowing exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But he's got that touch on him. He's just finesse. He's fun to watch. I mean, he takes risks, you know what I'm saying, but he can also fit it in that pocket. You know what I'm saying? So I like him. Obviously, yeah.
Nice. What about the running back and wide receiver core? I know we've got Ishmael Mahdi. We got Perry coming back this year. I know he was injured. Mm-hmm. Was he injured pretty much all of last year, right? Didn't he get injured early on, I think?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so
that's my guy.
Those two in the backfield. Those two in the backfield, they're probably going to be a little scary for opposing defenses. Maybe a little bit for you in practice.
Hey, shout out to my man Link and Ishmael Mahdi. Love y'all boys. Me and him obviously both came from FCS. Just a little, you know, obviously. We played each other as well. So it's funny. We were actually just talking today and just talking about how, like, you know, NCAA came out and he's kind of, you know, if you choose to state as your favorite team, he's the picture on there. And it's just it's so surreal where we kind of both just came from, and seeing how far, you know, what we're doing now. It's so funny. That's why I had to bring that up. Shout out to them boys. And Lincoln Perry, that's my lifting partner. He just threw up 325, 335 on clean.
No big deal.
No big deal. It's just another Wednesday. Just another Wednesday. He's gonna have production. Like, I promise y'all. Link, I'm not even gonna speak on that either. Don't want to jinx anything, but he's gonna have a great season. Ishmael Mahdi, love both of y'all. And I think I went too far. What was your question again?
The wide receiver core as well.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, so running back room, I'll start with them. Deep, Jay Jenkins from Washington State, Ishmael Mahdi, obviously, Lincoln Perry, who's got a consistent background. And then you have UTEP running back, Deion Hankins, TB. We have two TBs actually in the backfield, but very deep, like Deion Hankins, big third down back. He also get out on the edge on you. So, you know, he had a very good year at UTEP last year. Wide receiver room, got some guys coming back. Joey Hobart, Chris Don, Cole Wilson, Donley, Fox, you know, added some more tight ends this year. We're dangerous. We're dangerous for sure. I mean, and I don't know if y'all played with Texas State on NCAA.
I have not.
And they are fun to play with. The offense is absolutely fun. Now, if you don't know our defense or like know the guys playing our defense, you might be like, their defense kind of da-da-da-da. But honestly, like with the guy, like I know my guys, and I go, like, I just beat Iowa yesterday on there. Like, what? Like, what does that happen? So Joey Hobart,
right, that's crazy.
Joey Hobart had 3 touchdowns for me. Appreciate you, bro, Joe Dirt. But yeah, so we're fun. We're a fun team. I'm telling you, like, fun team to watch, just offensively and defensively this year. Like, it's going to be a lot of plays being made.
Nice. Yeah, I did see Texas State is the highest rated Sunbelt team in the game for this year's at, I think, 78 overall. Got some teams kind of close to them with the 74. I think 82
overall.
Oh, the 82?
Oh, okay.
Yes,
they might have updated it then, or I saw something different, but yeah, that's even better then.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that, though, because the offense was an 83 overall, and the defense is like a 74, 75, but they got 83 overall. I don't know, but yeah, or 82 overall. Yeah.
I did see Ish getting on there. I think it was him that was saying, hey, I couldn't get that 90 overall as a player or something.
That's crazy.
Right,
that's crazy.
right.
You know, I was expecting somebody out of Texas State to represent, but hey, they'll change it for sure.
It is what, hey, you got this year to put on, so it
that's
is what
right.
it is.
Right. So,
and hey, you always got your secret offensive weapon, Nash Jones, who can come out, catch a pass out of the backfield.
Absolutely.
Hey, if nobody else is getting it done, Nash Jones will get it done. Yes, sir.
I want to see if you know who I'm talking about when I say Refrigerator Perry. I want to see him line up and take the ball out of the backfield as a running back and just plow into the end zone. That's what I'd love to see.
You know he don't know who Refrigerator Perry is.
Refrigerator Perry.
you don't know who that is.
Refrigerator Perry. I've never heard of that one.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
that
got to
was
look
way
it up.
back in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That was
Maybe that's...
he was on the Pro Bowl. I mean, not Pro Bowl. The Super Bowl team, right, TJ?
Yeah, they I think they ended up losing that game. Or did
Okay.
no. That was 85 Bears.
Yeah, that was the last championship, right, for them?
Yeah, that was Sweetness. That was Mike Singletary, Walter Payton. That was those guys. Yeah.
I know Artie's going to have something to say about this, but the Super Bowl Shuffle, are you at least aware of that?
Super Bowl Shuffle.
Oh, you don't even know what the Super Bowl Shuffle is, TJ.
Listen, these young ones, man, look, they don't listen. We got some years on us. They'll figure it out when they start, and you'll start learning more of this stuff once you graduate, because then you'll have more time to do what we do and just look at sports all day long for no reason.
Yeah.
True.
That's my granddad talking about how
young is he? I'm 22, man. I'm gonna do better.
Okay, if you want to see something that you get a good laugh on and have a little cringy moment that you're going to see on YouTube, look up the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Yeah,
you might be looking at a picture that's a little pixelated because of how dated it is, but you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, okay. And bro, it is cringy. It's cringy. Okay.
That's all right.
Let me keep it 100 with you. It's St. Chad Johnson dancing.
That's all right.
Granddad's weird that old.
Hey, Super Bowl Shuffle, and then there was another thing y'all said.
Refrigerator Perry.
Refrigerator Perry. All right.
Yeah. And Artie says, I am the fridge, and I'm doing the Super Bowl Shuffle.
See, yeah. I got to look it up now. So, all right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and this is a little crazy thing. It's, speaking of Sunbelt references that have come out of left field, saw Chris Schwecker on TV. He is a former App State quarterback and former assistant director of the FBI. Had cool App State picks and helmet in the background. Yeah. Well, for unfortunate reasons of the news of all the political craziness, he has been on TV more because of his background and knowledge base to be on some stuff. But yeah, he's had some App State football helmets on his shelves in the background as he's been on TV. So a little weird reference, but something that is Sunbelt related nonetheless. To have somebody who's a former director of the FBI is a kind of a cool little feature there. I think
anecdotal, but cool.
Yeah, the Sunbelt has some crazy connections when you really start looking at not necessarily just athletes, but just people that went to Sunbelt schools and some of the high places that they've held, whether it's jobs or otherwise. Pretty cool stuff. TJ, I'm going blank on his name right now. The guy who works for NFL Network that played QB at App State too. I'm
wrong.
Man.
I'm looking at his face, but I can't say his name.
You've probably seen him on NFL Network if he's watching that. It's a guy everybody. They call him Sticks. No, not Sticks. That was the guy who played defense for you.
Yeah, Sticks was defense. Yeah, Marcus Morrell. Jason. Jason Hunter was Sticks.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Did you hear how he got that nickname? I just heard this the other day. I'm sure Caleb, these guys on teams now probably have all these crazy nicknames too. We're going to get into yours here in a second as well, Caleb. They called him Sticks. The coach called him Sticks because when he showed up to campus before he became the big dominant defensive end he was, he had sticks for legs. So they called him Sticks.
He was 6'3", 6'4", and some change. And he's about 185, 190 pounds playing defensive end. By the time he was a senior, he was 6'5" and like I think he was 260 something. Then he went on to play at Green Bay. And then he played for It's Green Bay, and then who else was it?
I think it was the Jets.
Yeah, Green Bay and then the Jets.
6'4", 6'5", 190 coming in.
Yeah. 6'3", 190, and then he grew to be 6. I think it was 6'5" or 6'6", and then he got up to like 265. Sheesh. He ran a 4.5 40 in his senior year of college. Ridiculous.
No, that's a freak athlete for sure.
Yeah, he a freak, bro. Him and Marcus Morrell. Marcus Morrell ended up playing for the Patriots. Mm-hmm. He was our other defensive end at the time.
Sheesh.
Yeah, imagine them two.
Now we're all seeing why these guys won 3 straight FCS titles.
I was just
Marcus Morrell. So Sticks was on one side, 6'5", 6'6", 260. Marcus Morrell was on the other side, 6'4" and a half, 245. He ran a 4.5 40. Like it was 4.5 and 4.4 coming off the edge on both sides. And we had Joe Suter in the middle at D tackle. He was 285. We had Daniel Olivar. He was 275 at D tackle. And then all three of our linebackers were all Americans. It was crazy. Not to mention 8-Ball and we just talked about Corey Lynch, both all Americans at 6. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Okay. All right. Jumping into the nickname. We made a whole slide for it just because.
Yes,
so you got to explain Kuga.
Yeah. So first, it's like a Sauce Gardner. It's a Kuga Culp. Just a little, it's the first. It was made for my pops back when I was middle school, going into high school. Kuga essentially, well, first it's my brand. I do have a brand. Kuga is. I would usually be wearing a Kuga shirt, but I want to rep Texas State. But Kuga is actually like, it basically just means like black plague. Anything that I come across is laying down. It's done. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's all Kuga is, but that's why it's Kuga, like, almost, it's just a little swag to it with the K, you know what I'm saying? Kuga, but it just basically means like anything I come across, when I step on that field, cross some lines, like I become Kuga.
Nice. Mm-hmm. I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it. So guys on the team and everybody, like friends, call you Kuga, or people call you?
Actually, it's funny.
KC is your initials too. So I was like, I wonder if people call him Casey. Other people hear it and think your name is Casey, but you know what I mean. I didn't know which way you went there.
It just depends on who you are. I mean, in high school, a lot of my high school guys either call me Kuga or K Baby on some. I don't even know. It just called long when I was in high school. And then, a lot of my teammates now and from UIW, they call me Kuga, or some people will call me Casey, or Colt.
Got you. Yeah. I like that. I like that you have a couple different names that can go by, and all of your names are short and easy to pronounce, which is cool because some of those things, like a Schlitterbahn, as we saw earlier, can get a little crazy. So, yeah,
a little too much.
I only really have one other slide here, so we got moving on up. Where you came from. We've already talked about your accolades, so we won't recover that. But talk about the spot that we really haven't touched on just yet. Your head coach, who was your head coach at one school, and I guess, was he really the main or only reason that you moved up to Texas State, or was that something that you were maybe looking at anyways? I mean, kind of explain maybe how that happened.
Yeah. So, they obviously we did whatever we did at UIW. And then, the year passes, or we get into the next year in January. And obviously I'm like, I want to hit the portal, whatever. First people I'm looking for is Texas State, obviously, just because I just played for y'all, kind of playing for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Got a little relationship. And obviously Coach Kinne was a big part of me coming, for sure. But it wasn't it wasn't the only reason, of course. I always wanted to stay in Texas. I don't know what it is about it, but I do always like being close to home, especially now that and it was a bigger decision now, really just because I was having a baby at the time, and, she was incoming. So, or she was expected. So I had to make that decision best for my family at that point too. So it was for sure Coach Kinne, for sure had a nice little chunk in it, staying in Texas, being in the Sun Belt, because I'll be honest, I didn't really want to play Conference USA. And yeah, I didn't want to play Conference USA or MAC football. But yeah, so that definitely had something to do with it, for sure.
Got you. And obviously did he kind of recruit you, or was it more the position coach that recruited you? And also, did that position coach move up with him? Is that another aspect of this?
Yes, of course. My position coach at the time, well, now at the time he's the DC, basically. Coach Dexter McCoy is the DC now. He's still my position coach. But he definitely, obviously having the same schematic, being in the same scheme or whatever, that definitely had a lot to do with it as well, just because like I didn't feel like learning a whole new defense. You know what I'm saying? Not if I didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely had to play in it too.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that seems to make a lot of sense. The continuity, and like you said, because of your circumstances, it just made it a lot easier to do what you did and stay there in state, close to. I mean, I guess is most of your immediate family all down there in Texas then, or do you have kind of family? I mean, you said military to start with, so you have family kind of all over, or are you mostly all in Texas now?
Yeah, I got a lot of family, and not everywhere, but we are definitely in chunks. So I got family in Texas. Excuse me, I got Texas in Oklahoma, California, Arkansas, and I believe a little in Louisiana. So yeah, I do come from a big family though. So yeah, I got them everywhere.
Nice.
Very nice. I think that is literally all the questions that I had. So I don't know. I got a question for you here then, real quick. NIL deals. I know you said you've got your brand. Do you have stuff already out? You have stuff coming out? How's that?
Yeah. I've had some clothes. I've had some clothes.
Tell me where I can order some shirts, bro.
Yeah, actually, the link is actually in my bio on Instagram. I'm not sure if it's in my bio on Twitter. I can definitely send y'all the link after this. But yeah, I've had some clothes out for a little while. I don't push it out as much now. My advisor, manager, he does all that. You know what I'm saying? He kind of makes everything. He kind of does that. So I'm not too sure what's going on right now because we haven't been pushing as much, especially with the season coming up, and there's been a lot going on. Honestly, but yes, I do have some clothes, and I can send y'all a link and see what y'all think about it.
I would love to have a Cougar shirt, bro.
Oh yeah. Actually, it's funny because when I was at UIW, I have arm sleeves, I got headbands like of Cougar. Yeah, so I used to give it to my position group, and we would all rep it, and go out there and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
I want my Cougar shirt for the Arizona State game. That's what so I can wear mine for the Arizona State game because I'm listening. It's a Thursday night, bro.
You gonna be there?
It's just y'all.
If y'all, whatever. If I gotta send it to you or whatever, let me know.
Listen, I'm gonna get your Insta after this, and we're gonna link because I want to get my shirt, and hopefully I can live stream the game. But y'all the only ones on TV on Thursday night. You see what I'm saying? The world is watching, and I'm gonna be part of the world.
I know that's right. All right.
Yeah, that's one that you asked him if he was going. My hope and goal would be to get down there, but that Thursday with work week is hard because that's a flight for TJ and I are both here in North Carolina, so that's not necessarily easy. But I would love to because, like we just talked about, you got a new turf, you got essentially half a new stadium that they're working on too. And I want to see this river that runs through your campus. Yes, I want to go to Hangry Joe's because I see Ishmael Mahdi pushing Hangry Joe's.
Hey, yeah, no cap, and San Marcos Barbecue. Shout out.
Yeah. So is that a regular stop for you guys in the team because of the connections now, or?
Oh yeah, San Marcos Barbecue. That's top barbecue in San Marcos for sure. Check them out when you're out here.
Are you okay? So that we'll get into this because I forgot to write this part down, but I did think about this beforehand. So TJ, if you can see his tagline underneath there, is really small. It says "thick thighs and large fries." That's his little barbecue business on the side.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I do barbecue catering.
And we're out there in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I just cooked the 85-pound hog on when was it?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 4th of July.
You got some pictures?
Yeah, a whole bunch of pictures. I did 85-pound hog. I did 40 pounds of ribs. I did 50 pounds of chicken, potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, mac and cheese.
Oh my
you name it. Yeah,
but you know what? North Carolina, and I promise to you, I actually went to 2 Duke camps. I wanted to go to Duke and UNC coming out of high school so bad. I went out there for 2 camps because I had a connection. My trainer took me out there, flew me out there, whatever. And I'll tell you what, y'all got some good barbecue out there in North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
I will tell you that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: the difference is not the actual meat. Difference is the sauce, right? Okay. So Eastern North Carolina or North Carolina on the East Coast in general is a vinegar-based type sauce. Okay. Right? You got your mustard bases, that's more Tennessee, Kentucky, all that kind of stuff. And then your barbecue bases, that's Kansas City, that's Texas, that's all that stuff. But it's a nice change of pace when you come over here. It's not that our barbecue is any better than what Texas is or any better than anywhere else is in the region. It's just different because we're the only region that uses that vinegar base. right? So I think that's probably what sold you.
Okay, maybe it was the sauce then. Maybe it was the sauce because it was good. I can't lie. And actually, I only brought that up because if there was another place to live, I would honestly live in North Carolina. I would honestly. It's just the weather and everything, the vibe. Like it was pretty cool. Like I kind of fell in love with it.
Yeah, nice.
North Carolina's where it's at.
Yeah, we are full. We're not taking any more applicants, though. I will tell you.
We full, bro. We full over here.
We don't need any more people. The housing prices are way high, as I just found out moving into this new place here, which I have to thank for getting a new background. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It is a full spot. I know Texas is becoming the same way, right? A lot of businesses and stuff are moving down, which is both good and bad for residents because you got a lot more job opportunities and hopefully better pay. But it also comes with increased prices and housing markets and traffic and every kind of thing. I mean, I've heard Houston's like a place you never want to drive, right? Because it's just like crazy. Dallas probably similar. I mean, you grew up in Dallas. You could probably tell us. And it's already saying Texas is no sauce. So you guys focused on the rubs down there? Is that kind of barbecue?
Okay, the Texas dry rub is dope too.
That dry rub is something different now. Yeah. Now, me personally, I don't even like my hands getting on barbecue and stuff for real. But
that's the best part.
That little
bro. I got to have that after I'm done.
You get just enough with the rub though. Just enough. I'm telling you. But no, yeah.
Well, if you're out of rub or you want to use a certain seasoning for rub, our presenting sponsor, Dano's Seasoning, who I've regret to mention until over an hour after we've gotten in here, but that is a great one off the shelf to have. They've got it at your local Walmart. They've got it. If you can use a promo code from us here, Dawgs, at checkout to get a little percentage off with your Dano's Seasoning. I know TJ uses it a decent amount for his stuff that he's doing on the side, but I'm really glad we got into that that barbecue conversation because that was one thing I failed to write down to mention, but I knew TJ was going to go off on some thoughts on there, but I didn't think about the sauce aspect. That's a really good, and I'll say this: I like both of them, so I actually cross the sauce a little bit there. Okay. I use both together.
Okay. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. It's it's a region thing, and we get into these I get into these conversations because I'm in these chat groups and stuff like that online. My granddad said, "Good luck in your season. Go ball."
Appreciate you.
Well. But yeah, so I get into these chat groups all the time when cooking, and I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're getting close to that 10 o'clock hour. I know you got to go.
He's got a game, man. He's got a game.
I know. I'm getting off of it here in just a minute. But there's so many conversations about whose barbecue is better. It's not really. That's not the case. It's a preference thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you prefer dry rub? Do you prefer a mustard base? Do you prefer a barbecue base, or do you prefer a vinegar base?
Right.
And it's all about what you prefer. Nobody's necessarily better. We're all seasoning our food damn near the same way, right? It's what you're putting on after it is what the key is. So
it's a good point. Very good point. Before we wrap up, finalize, I want to say that I'm lucky enough to be sent to my first Sunbelt Media Days next week down in New Orleans. So check us out for some more coverage. Unfortunately, TJ can't join me. I tried to talk to him.
I know, man. It was
he already had plans, so he won't be there next year. I told him next year, TJ, we're going to take you on, get some good food, go to Bourbon Street, very professional. No outside of the norm, kind of partying.
Of course.
But I'm very excited. In all seriousness, I'm very excited to be down there and represent Sunbeltsyndicate and College Football Dogs, both as kind of newer brands to be at this event. Hope to talk to a lot of guys, obviously the Texas State guys that are going to be down there and App State guys and all the people that I can. I probably won't be able to talk to all 14 teams. But my hope is to try and talk to as many as possible and provide you guys some further coverage as it comes to Sunbelt related things. Also, we do have some merchandise up on collegefootballdogs.com. If you click the store link, you will see some Sunbelt Syndicate polos and t-shirts. Mine should be here shortly before we get to Media Day, so I should be repping both of those and maybe a Kuga shirt too. I don't know if I'll have it in time for Media Day coverage, but down the line here, especially like TJ said before that Arizona State game.
I need it.
Definitely be wearing it for that. And thank you very much for Artie tuning in. He's definitely got himself a T-shirt on the way. I hope, actually, Artie, you can say this while we're still here live. Hopefully Artie has that T-shirt.
Yeah, should.
But yeah, he better have that T-shirt. If he doesn't, we're gonna crack some skulls here in the background. But I really want to thank Kaleb Kuga Culp for joining us tonight. This has been an awesome interview, one of my all-time favorites. It seems like the Texas State guys really got some good personalities.
Yeah,
they're really open and talking about everything that they want to talk about and answering our questions. So we do really, really appreciate that. We do also have high expectations for the Bobcats coming into this season, but more than anything, we want to see you guys all succeeding as individuals as well. And hopefully you guys, specifically you, Kaleb, can also take that next step, because we always love seeing guys go on and literally live their dreams and make some more money. Luckily, you guys can do that a little bit now in the college game as well. But yeah, man, anything you want to wrap up with here before we finalize it?
Shoot, no, sir. It's been fun, and hopefully we can get something going in the future.
Absolutely, man. Good luck to you, man. Blessings to you. Blessings to your family, man. You're seem like a great kid, man. And I'm wishing you the best. Like I said, I need that merch. I'm gonna look you up on Insta here in just a minute.
Yeah.
I took a picture of our broadcast. So I'm gonna post that, tag you in it.
Okay.
Those kind of things, man. But yeah, absolutely, man. You seem like a real good guy, man. So I'm rooting for you for sure. Except when y'all win the West and App State wins the East. That's the only time. That's the only time. That's the only time I can't root for you.
You're gonna be stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly. But other than that, you my guy.
Okay. All right. I'll take that, though. I'll take that.
Yeah, that'll be the final thing I'll say. We hope to see you in Boone in December.
That sounds good, though.
Maybe some snow on the ground, something like that. Just have a little fun with it. You know, I'm sure you guys down in Texas don't experience the snow too much. Maybe that could be an aspect that we see.
Yeah, we don't. No, yeah. All right, then. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man.
All right, yeah, absolutely, Kaleb. Really appreciate it.
All right.
See you guys.
Have a good one, bro.
Yes, sir.
Sunbeltsyndicate.